either his heart is not in the right place, or Obama, or he's been conned, or something. I don't expect that we're going to be entirely on Israel's side, but it seems like we've been moving away from Israel in an attempt to garner favor in the Arab world. And the only result is that we're less popular now than we were before. The Arabs, I think, admire strength, and I think Obama leaving Israel out of the picture on the world scene is seen as weak and defensive, and his continual diatribes about reducing the military, etc., is not helping the United States. He has the view of I think many progressives that they see the world as they would like it to be rather than the way it is. And Theodore Roosevelt was right. You speak softly, but you carry a big stick. If you don't have a big stick, it doesn't matter what you say. That's the real world.
Do you think that Obama will abode ill for America in a second term?
Well, I first got to preface this. I am a Republican. Although unlike Democrats, I do occasionally vote for Democrats. You talk to a Republican, they say a Democrat, and they say they'll never vote for a Republican. You don't hear Republicans say that. Republicans say, we'll vote for the best man. Henry Jackson, for example, who I was a great supporter of. And there are many other Democrats that I've been a supporter of. When you're young, and I was young and idealistic once, I was a Democrat. But you get older, you get wisdom, you become a Republican. Democrats, liberal Democrats, or progressive Democrats, or whatever they want to call themselves, see the world as they would like it to be. Republicans see the world as it is. Now, in each party, you have liberals and conservatives. So in the United States, it's not as clear-cut as it sometimes is in Europe, where the parties are more uniform. So I've got to say we're generalizing somewhat. Maybe I lost your question.
Well, what's your concern as a business person about the economy, the future economy of the United States under 4 more years of an Obama administration?
Well, it'll continue to decline, but I think that's his objective. Some people get a little shocked, but my opinion is that Obama never intended for the country to recover because he couldn't get his legislation through. Mm-hmm. If we weren't in the depression or recession that we're in, the health care law would have never passed because most people would have had health insurance anyway. So he wants to add to the roles of the people that are dependent on government. And so we will just continue to muddle through. I think it's pretty well established that Obama does not believe in American exceptionalism, and he would prefer that the United States was a lesser nation among nations than it has been in the past. Now that's his way of fostering, I guess, world fairness or whatever he wants to call it. I think, hopefully, that most Americans understand that and will see through that. But I don't know. He's done a great job of conning them so far.
Do you feel that he has an agenda towards greater socialism?
Well, I don't know if you want to. I'd call it more national socialism, sort of similar to what Hitler did in Germany. And I know that'll maybe shock some of your listeners, but he wants people dependent on the government, and he wants the government to control things, and he thinks, really in his heart, that that's the best way to run things. And that's whether you call it socialism or fascism or national socialism or whatever it is, it's running by ideology rather than reality. I think you read his books closely, which surprisingly a lot of the Democrats have not read, just as those who refuse to believe that the Quran is an anti-Semitic tract because all they see is Arab propaganda taking the first part of it, which is sort of favorable to Jews, and ignoring the back part, which says kill the Jews. And anybody who's read the Quran knows that it's probably the worst anti-Semitic tract after the Elders of Zion that's ever been published.
What's your concern about possible anti-Semitism coming under a second Obama era?
Well, I think anti-Semitism may come under either era. I don't think that, I think Obama is not as good for Israel as Romney, and all you need to do is look at their public statements and see their actions and so on. Even talking about religion, we don't like to talk about that, but I think Mormonism, well, they may want to convert you after you're dead. I don't care about that. Mormonism has a favorable attitude toward Jews. They consider themselves, I think, one of the lost tribes. And Islam certainly does not. And there's just no comparison. I'd much rather have a Mormon than a Muslim. I'm not saying that Obama is a Muslim, but I think he has favorable attitudes, which he's expressed in his book towards Islam, and he certainly expressed it strongly in his Cairo speech. I don't know what his real religion is, but it's just like we don't know what his college stuff and all that, where he claims that he born in the United States and is U.S. citizen, but on his college applications to get scholarships, he claimed he was not a U.S. citizen. That's, I think, pretty well established, although I still get people who deny that. But I think that that finally was proven. If I'm wrong, I'd like somebody to show me other than just a pro-liberal fact checker. But all that stuff is just noise in the background anyway. I don't think it makes any difference. I'm willing to concede that he may be a U.S. citizen, and that's fine, but that's not, whether someone's a U.S. citizen or not, I'm not that much of a constitutionalist that I think that's critical. And I think the whole thing is taking away from the real issues that are when you get into those kind of talks.
And how different would America be under a Romney administration, you think, for the next 4 years?
Well, it obviously would be different, just as it's been very different under Obama. I think that Romney will remove some of the impediments that are holding us back, and there's a big conflict going on about the tax issue. I'm basically a business person, and I'm willing to pay more taxes if I could see that they would help and wouldn't be spent frivolously or actually in a negative way, which is what I think a lot of the government expenditures are at the moment. So I'm not that concerned ideologically about the Bush tax cuts not helping the real wealthy, but I am concerned about their impact when you start to increase taxes. That historically that's not good for the economy, and so I think it will. If Obama is elected, it will definitely slow down the recovery strongly, and could have further disastrous effects.
Are you a member of the Republican Jewish Coalition?
Yes.
What are your concerns on the part of the American Jewish community in this upcoming election?
Well, I don't expect that it's going to be a major shift. I think Obama will not